Hello there fellow NPCs, I am Scythe, and today we're getting back into Seeds of Chaos. And as you probably can hear, I am still sick. This is just 3 days before the video is actually supposed to be uploaded. So we'll see how my voice managed to keep up and stuff like that. And also, this is the second shirt from QWERTY that I bought. As I said, I got 5 of them. I mentioned that in my Walking Dead video. And they are awesome. Wailing Yutani, the bad guys from Alien franchise. And yeah, I'm gonna be showing them off. It's not a sponsorship, I just love that company. Love the shirts they have. But if we're going back to the game here, I did check up right before playing, because we have done just about everything. There's only something over here with the caravan that I need to check in on. But yeah. So, what were we supposed to do? Yeah, we have been drinking with Greyhide, and there is something going on with his Firegrout wine. So, we kind of need to find out what that is. And we can only do that by exploring a bit more. We'll see if we can find any more Minotaurs out there that can explain something for us. Yeah. But for now, let's go. So yeah, I already did a bit of a checkup here, and I can't afford anything fun here. And there is nothing in treatment, nothing in tools, but employees. And I believe this one is what I want to use. +2 iron for 4 weeks, so we get more stuff, better army power. So we'll use that, and so we can take a rekeep properly. Question is, should I take this as well? Would it take a lot of my... Is this personal or is it treasury? I think this is personal gold. So I'll buy that too, actually. Ooh, expensive. But we are helping Greyhide here. Let's check in on him actually right away. Wait, what did it say? Balance. Iron process this week 3. Okay. We right now have, gonna have, I guess, 5 iron income and 6 forge capacity. Not sure what that means, but easier. Oh, I see. Yeah, because we can do 6 iron every week, and right now we have a maximum of 5. So if I didn't buy both of them, I would actually be wasting one of the irons. Ooh. Good. I see. That's good. But also, what is our strength here? We have... This is not the total score. Total military strength of all soldiers. 114. No, I'm not here to rush or heal me. Yeah, so now, we're done with that. Let's get out there and start looking for stuff. Let's see if we can find out where the Firegrout is. It's very dark. I want to go here to the mine, get even more iron, but then it's gonna be quite a waste. How do we fix that? Mine level 3 party. Gain 50 XP. Taking a bit of a detour, Rowan approaches what he knew was an abandoned iron mine. A couple of years back he heard from a passing merchant about it being overrun by monsters, though by then he had already retired from being a hero in general, and was enjoying a peaceful family life with Alexia. Never really one for adventuring, he was a soldier in the past, not a glorified mercenary for hire. He chose to leave the matter to the local authorities. Though knowing the level of enthusiasm with which lords react to peasants asking them to do their damn job of protecting the countryside, he honestly expected the mine to be still filled with monsters. Not like that would be an issue with the orcs he had under his command. Maybe if said monster turned out to be driders, he might get a chance to grab a couple of eggs. 2 birds with 1 stone, if Lady Luck smiles on him. Filled with such optimistic thoughts, he approached the slope leading to the mine entrance, and instantly noticed a faint trail of campfire smoke on the horizon. Sensing trouble, Rowan stepped off to the dirt path he was on and entered the nearby forest. With his usual expertise, he started sneaking up to the source of the unexpected smoke. As he drew nearer, he started overhearing snippets of a conversation between two particularly agitated people. A minute later, he was close enough to grasp the words being said. "Then you shouldn't have tossed in so much wood into the fire." The first voice complained, annoyed. It sounded male, young. Yes, blame everyone but yourself," another answered. This one was high-pitched, girly. "I did everything right. I got the recipe from the innkeeper in Rastadel and followed it to the letter." "Horse shit! Show me that!" "Hey, knock it off, you bit!" Voice 3, okay. "Please, there's no reason to be upset. We still have rations." A third voice, sounding very young. Either a young boy or another girl. Rowan crept in closer. A minute later, he was close enough to see who the voices belonged to. Near the entrance to the mine, a group of adventurers, apparently, set up camp, and was in the middle of bickering with one another in a rather lively fashion. A young sorceress, dressed in red robes, tried to lay her hands on a piece of paper desperately protected by a young man in leather armor. These must have been the first voices he heard. To the side, he noticed the likely owner of the third voice, a short-haired boy, Rowan guessed? No older than 16. Hiding his face in his hands, he looked like he was about to cry. There was another person who kept his silence so far, a burly, serious man with a long beard, a tanned skin and a gentle, if disapproving gaze, sat next to the young boy. He wore a simple shirt, but Rowan quickly noticed a breastplate and a shield lying nearby. Again, Rowan crept a bit closer, kneeling behind one of the trees, trying to get a better look at the odd party, and to wait and see how the situation develops. But he wouldn't get the opportunity to do so. He must have passed some sort of invisible line, because the sorceress' head suddenly snapped upwards, and she turned her gaze in his direction. "We have company." Like a well-oiled dwarf mechanism, the group instantly sprung into action. The big man in the back jumped forward, grabbing his shield and sword, placing himself in the front. The other man and the woman positioned themselves behind him, by his sides, with a man taking out a crossbow, while the sorceress' hands burned ablaze with a magical fire. The boy lingered in the back, protected by the three clearly more experienced fighters. "Show yourself, interloper." With a soft sigh, Rowan stood up and waved his arm from behind a tree. "I mean you no harm, but I would prefer if the other guy lowered his crossbow before I leave the cover." The three exchanged glances, then with some hesitation lowered their weapons. Rowan showed his face, and the woman gawked at him instantly. "Holy shit! It's Rowan Blackwell!" All of them, Rowan included, looked at her in surprise. It wasn't often he would be recognized so quickly. There wasn't anything particularly characteristics about his face or clothes, bar the magical amulet, but this was a recent addition. "Are you certain?" "Yes, how could I not be? Didn't I tell you like 1,000 times how I saw Deianira and her party in Rastadel? Of course I would recognize him." The sorceress quite literally jumped up with a giddiness and waved at him, urging him to come closer. "Mr. Blackwell, please join us." "We'd offered rider omelets, but someone fucked up the recipe." "Rider omelets?" "I told you I did not." I don't think it's even possible to cook I don't think it's even possible to cook a rider egg." Rowan shook his head as the group almost instantly forgot about his presence and descended into what he assumed was their usual bickering. It had been some time since he had seen an honest, proper adventuring group. Not that they weren't present in Rosaria. With the nobles more or less completely ignoring the countryside, it wasn't uncommon for people to hire mercenaries to deal with their problems. Though Rowan couldn't help but feel the group in front of him was considerably more light-hearted than he had expected them to be. A sign of time, perhaps. With Cardinals defeated, hope returned to Rosaria. For a time, at least. Normally Rowan might have paid no attention to random adventurers like that, but judging by the location, it was safe to assume they were here for the same purpose as he was. If they already scouted the mine, it would make his job that much easier. Adopting a pleasant smile, he joined the group for supper. With an innovative dish ruined, the party offered him some of their usual dried rations, and with them, customary introductions. The sorceress name proved to be Shera. She was a fire mage who used to study in Rastadel and dreamed of becoming a heroine, just like Daenerys was. The burly man called himself Kais. He was a mercenary from Empire Sand, but after seeing the destruction caused by Karnas, he chose to quit the life of a sellsword and devote himself to hunting down the monsters that now plagued the countryside of all the nations Karnas invaded. The man in leather told Rowan his name was Bernard, and that was that. He didn't seem like the talkative kind, which contrasted with his earlier loud behavior. Guess he only ever opened to people he was close with. The last adventurer was a scrawny boy who, contrary to Bernard, just didn't seem like the kind to open up at all. Shera said his name was Isaac, and that the group rescued him from orc slavery 2 years ago. Ever since, the four of them traveled together. Frowning, Rowan asked what exactly did they think that dragging an adolescent boy around for monster hunting was a good idea. This was no life for a kid. It's fine. Isaac is stronger than he looks. He's blessed by Salancia, you know. Shera! Bernard hissed at his companion, but the sorceress waved him off. Oh, come on, you want me to keep things away from the hero Karst? He's the most trustworthy person we could ever possibly meet. Daenerys herself. Okay, don't know what bar means. Except for... This is not your secret to tell. The sorceress pouted. Jeez, whatever. Rowan looked at the boy, who turned his eyes away. He chose not to pry on the subject. At least not yet. After they all exchanged backstories, before Shera could shower with various questions regarding his time spent with Daenerys, Rowan asked them what they were doing in the area. As they expected, they also heard the rumors about the mine being occupied by monsters, so they came to clear it out, but they didn't find anything except a lone rider. Whatever used to haunt the tunnels must have left a long time ago. As for the mine itself, they still saw traces of ore here and there, but it was hard to say if it was abandoned because of monsters or because it was no longer profitable. Regardless, it could be reopened. Rowan did a mental note to inform the castle of that as soon as possible. With his main objective achieved and the day nearing an end, Rowan asked if the group would mind if he joined them for the evening. It was always safer in a group, and he wouldn't mind having some company for a change. Isaac didn't mind at all, and if Bernard had anything against it, he decided to keep it to himself. Now, Shera and Case. Both of them were all too happy about Rowan's company. The sorceress kept finding more and more excuses to rub her body against him. Or to lean forward so he could look down her cleavage. Her robes were loose enough that Rowan could easily see her modest breasts whenever she did so, and it would be a lie to say he didn't look at least once. The sorceress noticed, the corners of her cute mouth turning upward into a devious smirk. Despite himself, Rowan found himself responding to their flirtations. Oh, he did, huh? He felt a bit guilt about doing so, with Alexia waiting for him back in Castle Bloodmead. It didn't feel right to mess around with other people. Though it would be a nice way to release some tension. Really? We can do stuff with Case? This is a dark fantasy. I guess we will lean into it. Smiling, Rowan turned his attention to Shera, happily indulging her many questions about his past adventures. Shera's enthusiasm and general sunny disposition proved to be infectious, and Rowan quickly forgot about the many struggles he was forced to endure in present days. He gladly spent the evening reminiscing about old times, when things weren't nearly as complicated, and he didn't need to balance his soul and Alexia's safety with every decision. At one point, when they thought he wasn't looking, he saw the sorceress smile triumphantly at Case, who raised his hands in defeat. Okay. When night came, he lay to bed with the others, agreeing to take the last watch, but he didn't sleep. He waited patiently, and as expected, half an hour later, he heard someone approach him. He opened his eyes and smiled at Shera, who stared in surprise, before returning the gesture, again offering him that cute TV smile of hers. She helped him get up, and with a skip in her step, started to drag him into the woods. "Should we just leave them like that?" Rowan asked, casting a glance at the remainder of the party. The sorceress smirked in response. "We literally just killed the only thing that could ambush us, and I have magical alarms all around the camp. How did you think I noticed you earlier?" "Fair." Choosing their step carefully, at least Rowan was. It's really annoying that it's all black though. At least Rowan was. The concept of sneaking was foreign to the woman. They left the camp and started walking deep into the forest. Deep enough for that the two of them could talk comfortably, without the fear that they might be overheard, or that they would wake up the others. Yes, this will be perfect. The sorceress declared suddenly, once they were a fair distance from the camp, without allowing Rowan a chance to respond. She jumped him, using the momentum to press him against the nearby tree. Her lips sought this, while her hands started to undress them both. She wasn't wasting any time, and Rowan felt she'd rather just tear the clothes off him, if given the option. No foreplay? Fuck foreplay, I want to feel the hero cursed inside of me already. Oh. So that's what this is. Oh, okay. I'll see you guys real soon. Well, that was an abrupt ending to it. But yeah. If you want to see that, you have to go over to SpicyGaming.net and see the uncensored version of this video. But for now, let's go. Morning came, and the adventuring party gathered for breakfast, with Rowan joining them. They inquired if he could have also joined them in the travels, at least for a while. The group was heading west, planning to walk to the southern bank of River Yael till they reached the coast, and then turn north into Forest Iloan. The prospect of some honest company was an unpleasant one, but Iloan wasn't his target at the moment, and even if it was, he couldn't allow himself to be limited by people who didn't know the nature of his present quest. So instead, they exchanged some information on the surrounding area. Among the general advice, they also told him there were rumors of a massive orc camp between the river and the mountains to the north. Okay. West of Rastadel. That's why he wanted to stick to the southern bank, to avoid any possible orc raiding parties. Might be worth checking out. With that, their business was concluded, and it was time to say their goodbyes. It was an honor meeting you, Rowan. The honor's all mine. I still can't believe I ran into an actual adventuring party. How is that surprising? You know how many orc camps they have in Rosaria? Dozens. Regardless, let's just say it was a nice change of pace. I wish you all good luck. Aye aye. Tell Daenerys to ask about Shera of Arkany, if she'll be visiting the Elflands next year by any chance. Ah, right. Well, that's annoying. Ask about Shera of Arkany, but her name what's her name? Yeah, her name is Sheena. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, take care. Stay safe, Mr. Blackwell. They lingered for a moment, delaying the goodbye, until Quace nudged Isaac gently, and the four finally started moving. Rowan stayed behind, having told them he needed to take one last look at the mine, and already contacting Castle Bloodmead to have them send people in. If he ever finds himself in Eloan, he should keep an eye out for these guys. Hire workers, deploy soldiers. Okay, okay. Guess. But as I said, we need more fighting power. What do we have over here? Is it just a big forest? Traverse to swamp, huh? Hills. Nothing really in. Here we have something interesting. A farm, it seems. Let's go through some. Oh, no, the Niverian wisp. The bog Rowan found himself in was depressing in more than one way. It was moist to the point of claiming half of his boots with each step. The air was putrid, and its dense foliage allowed for very little light. Rowan was barely able to see where he was going. A glimmer in the distance that moved from behind tree trunks caught his attention. He could not make out what it was, but the glimmering spectrum of blues and pinks told him it was of magical origin. Its elegant movement allowed for a second conclusion. He was alive. Inspect. Ethereal lights in the dark and damp forest weren't the wisest thing to pursue, but Rowan's curiosity won the day. He attempted to make his way to the creature when its movement suddenly stopped. The light the entity emitted flared up in magnificent fashion, coloring the forest around its sensual hues of pink and purple. Are we gonna meet the Dryad here? I know there's a Dryad in the gallery because I've seen that much. So are we gonna have another event? Then in a flash, almost too quick for Rowan's eyes to follow, the thing was before him. The visage of a gorgeous female hovered before Rowan. Her face was that of a lascivious temptress, with hunger and desire shining in brilliant eyes. But a benign quality seemed also present. For here it had strands of vibrant energy that writhed as if alive. Dude, what the hell is that name? Alanarith. Alanarith? Well met, child of man. I am Alanarith of the Niverian Lights. May I inquire as to your name? Well met. I am Rowan Blackwell. And what brings you to my domain, Rowan Blackwell? I was merely passing through when I saw your radiance illuminate the darkness. If I intrude and am unwelcome, I apologize, and can be on my way. As Rowan spoke with Alanarith, he noticed the entity's presence had a soothing, almost healing quality. Whatever thoughts of danger he initially had were gone. In their place was a warm and fuzzy feeling that slowly but certainly grew as he lingered. During their conversation, time passed in a strange yet pleasant manner. Rowan asked Alanarith if she was a sort of wisp, upon which the feminine creature grinned seductively and said she was of the Niverian Lights. Rowan did not recognize the heritage. After what felt like hours of pleasant and at times sensual dialogue, Rowan noticed his soreness in his legs. Initially he wished to disregard it, as he had never held such pleasant company as he did then. What the Niverian said next worried him, however. You seem encumbered, Rowan Blackwell. Are you afraid that my demeanor will turn predatory soon? I'm not, but there is a strange passing of time in your presence. As much as I enjoyed your company, I fear I must be on my way. If you want to leave, you can, but I would insist you pay a trivial tithe. Oh, a tenth. Payment in the form of... I doubt you're interested in gold, and I have nothing else to offer. Currency you mortals hold dear is not the one nature covets, true. Nevertheless, you certainly have something I desire, Rowan. Rowan felt himself stir below, first to a general level of arousal, but second later to the point of unbearable hardness. Oh, okay, yeah, it's going to happen again. Damn, I have a good week. Alanarith licked her upper lip provocatively. It couldn't be any clearer what the fake creature desired. Let's go. To receive is to give, and to give is to receive. It fills me with joy to see there are mortals that still honor the old way. Now then, enough talk. Show me your talk. Did that rhyme? I think it does, but it also means that I will be seeing you guys real soon again. Whoops. It basically ended with he was not able to continue exploring much for the rest of the week. So yeah. Here's just some common knowledge. If you encounter Fae in general, if they are Fae, stay the Fae away, okay? Because they will take far more than you are willing to give, you know? They are bad creatures. But yeah, let's continue. I guess. Problem Squad. So, this is all of them? Yes, Lord. Rowan served the group. There were 5 of the orcs, 4 men, one slightly bigger than the others to become the leader, plus a woman. This group had become dissatisfied with serving in Andra's armies and were causing trouble now. They wanted better beds, better food, better everything. Even giving them the smallest of concessions had only made things far worse. Now the steward had to decide what to do with them. Their troublemaking could no longer be ignored. Ooh. Fight the leader and the one to make them resubmit. Fire them, force them into hard labor. Am I gonna have my ass handed to me? It was time to deal with this problem in the traditional orc fashion. That would definitely get through to them. He stood and pointed at the leader. It's time to see if you're worthy of everything you think you deserve. A duel to the death. That's a lot. Here and now. All the orcs in the chamber erupted into guttural cheers, with one exception. The leader. Okay, good. You stared daggers to the man. Oh. Reluctantly, he reached for his axe as the Roman descended from the throne. The ensuing battle was fierce, though the ending was not in doubt for Rowan. This orc was sloppy, poorly trained. He'd actively avoided learning how to fight, resenting the entire military system. Roar! Suddenly he dived forward, throwing himself entirely into a massive frontal attack. Idiot. That move had left the orc completely exposed, allowing Rowan to easily duck forward and cut into the orc's chest, piercing its heart. Woo! Yeah! Seized by spasms, the orc tries to make one last pathetic attempt at striking the hero. Rowan casually sidestepped his final attack to watch it with satisfaction as the orc collapsed to the ground. Anybody else who wishes to file a formal complaint? He smiled pleasantly at the remaining orcs. A dejected no soon followed. Good, now back to work. Orcs. They love to despise their leaders, but as long as they feared their prowess, they would listen. Okay. Oi, we need to fix this. How the f do we fix this? I guess we need the brothel to make it happen. That's annoying. Week 10. Yeah, it was a good thing to up my combat there, because that is why I won. But that will also be the end of this episode. We had a lot of fun, and it took a lot of time, and it took a lot out of us, quite literally, in the case of Ala Ana Atahara, or whatever her name was. A lot of A's and stuff like that, and I'm also clogged up in the nose. I can't really say her name even if I knew what it was. Either way, I didn't manage to find out what happened to the fire grout, so we'll try to fix that in the coming few episodes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you Joseph for donating directly to my Ko-fi page. If you guys want to help me out, you can do so by clicking the link down in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one, and remember, just because you're not the main character does not mean you're not important. Goodbye everyone.